advances to the Final Four.
Shout out Chillinois Basketball Podcast.
Shout out to Chillinois Podcast.
Shout out Chillinois Podcast.
Shout out Chillinois Basketball, man.
Welcome back to another episode of the Chillinois Basketball Podcast. They say this time of year, survive in advance, and that is exactly what the Illini did. They've knocked off VCU in their second round tournament matchup by a final score of 76-55, and they will now play in the Sweet 16 on Thursday against Houston in Houston. We will have a preview for that game. We're probably going to record that tomorrow night, but right now we're just going to talk about the recap of the VCU Illinois game. All in all, a pretty impressive performance from the Illini. They got off to a hot start, started off 13-2, then let VCU battle back into the game, something we knew VCU was very capable of doing. And at that point, I texted you like I've been texting you all tournament, step on their throats. And that's exactly what the Illini did with about 2 minutes left in the first half, and then starting all the way from the second half until about 8 minutes left in the second half. It was an extended 24-4 run that really put the VCU Rams away. Really kind of ignited there by Andrei Stojakovic off the bench. He finished with a total of 21 points, 4 rebounds. He was the Ken Pom MVP in that game. He had some flashy dunks that he finally finished, because I know this year he's been notorious for going up for sky-high jams and then not finishing them. But if we're going to talk about dunks, and I think we can allude to it, and I'll probably do about 5 whole minutes on it, we're going to have to talk about the Zvonimir Ivisic dunk as well, because that was one of the most impressive sequences I've seen from any Illini player. Probably the most impressive defensive, offensive sequence in the entire NCAA tournament so far. But we'll get into all of that in a bit. Right now, just first thoughts, Noah. 76-55, 21-point victory for the Illini in the second round. I know they faced an 11 seed, so a lot of people thought this game might have been a little tougher had they faced North Carolina, who was the 6th seed. But VCU is a team that showed they weren't going to go away. It was unfortunate that their guard, Nick Lewis, went down in the first minute with an ankle injury. But, Terrence Hill Jr. is that guy that everybody was talking about anyways. He came off the bench a little bit earlier than everybody expected. But Kylan Boswell really shut him down. And besides that little run that VCU made in the first half, I didn't feel too uncomfortable at any point in this game. Were you at any point worried about this game, or did you feel like it was all gas, no breaks from the Illini?
Yeah, I didn't see you there. I just got this new jacket and couldn't help but admire myself. Not one, but 2 zippers. But very much like this jacket, Illinois was beautiful and sexy against VCU. Specifically, this most sexy player on their team, Andrei Stojakovic. All right, and you were mentioning, I remember previously, someone had done a first team all MOG, and he didn't make it, which is insane. I mean, he's first team all sexy, all handsome.
He made second team. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, it was dominant performance. Very much similar to the Penn game. I mean, almost, exactly the same. First half was kind of a little nervous, weren't too sure what was going to happen, but second half they came out so strong. I mean, I was watching the first half. I was at Outback Steakhouse with my buddies, and I was getting some ribs, half rack, because I wasn't, I wanted to get the full rack, but I didn't want to take it home leftover because ribs, I don't know if they can heat up that well. And I'm eating my ribs, watching the game, and we start really strong. Tommy's looking great. The first 10 minutes of the game, we're looking real good. And then all of a sudden I look up and it's tied, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So, I rush home, I get my leftovers, put them in the fridge. And then by the time I turn the game on, when I'm at home, they start to pull away, and everything's great, everything looks fine. There was a little moment there I was nervous. I thought that'd be classic Illinois, lose to VCU, the 11 seed in the second round, bust everyone's brackets. But nope, they pulled away, and they should do that in the first half, like I'd mentioned in the last video. But I guess it's fortunate we got it at least in the second half. Against Houston, it's not going to cut it. We're going to need it in both halves. But yeah, it was a great performance. Like we'd mentioned, Andrei Stojakovic, great game. One of his best games I've seen from it in an Illinois uniform. And yeah, I mean, masterclass performance by everybody all around. Can't really complain with this one.
We could probably use the word electric again. And then I've got a question for you personally. Is Outback Steakhouse any good? I've never been to one.
Yeah, Outback Steakhouse, it's one of those places, I've been there a few times. I've never necessarily thought it was great, but my buddy, he's a real steak connoisseur and he loves it. He gets it rare with a Pittsburgh char. I'm like, holy moly, like, what does that even mean, Pittsburgh char? But apparently it just means they sear it extra. So he loves it. Their ribs are tasty. Their sides were pretty decent. The mac and cheese was all right, but I'd go back. It was very busy though. I'm like, man, it's like there's so many better restaurants. I just don't understand, but it's like a classic NPC restaurant. NPCs just love to go there, get their steak.
It was kind of giving me like lobster or like Red Lobster vibes or like Olive Garden vibes, but for like steak, which I've been to Olive Garden before, and that's pretty good. I'm just mentioning all this. I was hoping you'd talk better about Outback Steakhouse, and maybe we could reach out to them with a clip and say we can get a sponsorship deal and maybe get some.
Outback Steakhouse,
Yeah, that would be
the sponsor, Chillinois basketball podcast.
good Australian accent. Maybe we can get an Australian on the team next year as well. Double down on the whole thing. Um, So yeah, all in all, pretty impressive performance from the Illini in their second game. Um, I think you said it was Andre that was going to be. Did you take Andre as your MVP pick in the pregame?
I think I predicted, was it Merck? No, Merck was the last one I predicted
No,
it.
I think you said Andre,
I might have. I
or you
mean,
maybe said Keaton Wagler, but that would have been too easy. Either way, it was Andre Stojakovic's performance that just really got the team.
I think I said Jelly Roll, if I'm not
That's a
mistaken.
possibility too. Tennessee knocked off Virginia, so J Jelly Roll is certainly rolling in the NCAA tournament at least. But yeah, it was Andrei Stojakovic that really sparked the offense off the bench, actually. I know the Illini got off to a hot run, but he closed the first half on a 9-0 run by himself, which really allowed the Illini to take a lead, find some comfortability in the second half and then pull away with the game and then never really let VCU back into it, which we've seen from Illini teams in the past. We've seen it from this year's team. Is there any argument to be made that Andre should be back in the starting lineup? I know Jake Davis's role is diminishing a little bit. He only played 14 minutes this game. He did hit a corner three. He was 1 for 1 from three and 1 for 1 from the field. But those were his only 3 points, and his minutes went down. Ben Hummerkaus is playing a lot more. People are saying Andres should start. I think it's kind of a matter of if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Because at the moment, Andre is coming off the bench and really adding value off the bench. He can come in at times when the Illini's starters aren't looking so great. He added 21 points off the bench in this game. And he just gives another level to the offense that nobody in the starting lineup, I think, has. But what's your take on that? Do you think for the rest of the tournament, Andre should be back in the starting lineup? We've kind of had the idea all year that if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Leave him on the bench. But if you're Andre, are you mad about that? Maybe you're like, I'm playing my way into the starting lineup. What's going on in that scenario at least?
Well, breaking news, it's got two zippers on the wrist.
Oh, you're back to the jacket.
But I will say this, if you've been paying attention to the tournament, all the teams are wearing these shirts, and it's exactly what we need to do. The shirts say lock it in. We got to lock it in. And that's why right here, I have a lock. We got to lock it in. Our defense specifically, we have to lock in because the offense, that travels. We've seen it at Purdue, at Nebraska. The problem is those games, at least the Purdue game, from what I remember, they scored like 90 points. We just scored 92, right? So we outscored them, great, but we need the defense to travel. I think they've been playing great, honestly. These last two games, I think Illinois' defense has been one of the most impressive defenses in the country, and that's saying something because this Houston defense is really, 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 really good, and it's going to be a clash for sure. And Houston's offense is really good. That's the other thing. Everybody always talk, oh, Houston's defense, Houston's defense. They just scored like 90 points against Texas A&M, who's not a slouch team. So they can clearly shoot the ball. But from what I hear, they kind of, and I get this isn't a Houston, preview, but from what I hear, they kind of let they let their team shoot the three that they're playing against. So that's Illinois' specialty right there. And the first half wasn't great in terms of 3-point shooting, but man, that second half in that VCU game, we were shooting lights out. I mean, everybody was hitting them. Ben, I mean, we got to talk at some point about that big Z block and then dunk because in real time, it didn't look like a block. It kind of just looked like the guy missed a dunk. But then when you watch it back, it was very clearly a block. And then that dunk on the other end, I mean, holy moly. The clip of Orlando Antigua holding Tommy back from running onto the court. It was it was all over like sports. Well, I don't know about Sports Center, but pretty much everything else other than Sports Center. It was a great clip and definitely something that Z's going to look back on in 20, 30 years and show that to his kids over and over.
Yeah, there's a lot to break down in that single dunk, well, the single play because it was a great sequence. But before I do that, you didn't answer my question about the Andre Stojakovic in the starting lineup debacle.
Oh, yeah, I was literally just thinking like, how can I incorporate the jacket back into it and everything.
You could have said something like Andre Stojakovic would wear this kind of jacket because it would look
If
good on him.
Andre wore this jacket, forget about it. Your lady's gone. She's with Andre. I mean, I got this at Men's Warehouse, and we do have a promo code Noah, and you get 15% off all jackets
We gotta
specifically.
stop doing fake ads, dude. We're gonna get in legal trouble for that.
One of
But
these
yeah,
times, these
but yeah, Men's
companies will
Warehouse.
actually reach out. If we get enough people to use the fake promo code, they're going to be like, "What's this? Why is everybody entering this promo code?" And then they're going to reach out to us. You guys get a lot of traction. And I'm going to be like, "Well, it's the jacket." But getting to your question, I don't see why would they need to incorporate him back in. I mean, I get it. You know, he's better than Jake Davis at this point. We've come to that conclusion. But you're in the Sweet 16. I mean, you can't change it now. Maybe if it was, a month ago, you can experiment, but at this point in the season, you just got to roll with it. I like it because you kind of have plan A and plan B. Plan A is the starters win the game, and plan B is Andre wins the game. And he can do it too, which is the crazy thing. I mean, it's not like, oh, put Andre in, we're going to lose, just let him get some minutes. Like, he can win a damn game by himself. And, not necessarily against a team like Houston or whoever else we might play in the future. But, against a team like VCU or Penn, he can certainly win a game by himself. And he doesn't need to be a starter because it kind of works perfectly for him. Because if he's a starter, he's not really getting the ball. Keaton's getting the ball. He's kind of just standing there. When he's coming off the bench, he's the main guy. He's the guy. I was thinking about it in my head for all the older fans out there. Like a vinyl record, right? You buy a vinyl record. You got your A side and your B side. You don't just have your five best songs on the A side. The second or third best song, that's going to be your first song on the B side. Because that way, when somebody flips it over, they got a good song right there. That's your Andrei Stojakovic. He's your B side. He's your best song on the B side right there, which is like second or third best player on the team. And that's all you can ask for. I mean, that's all you need. You don't need him to be the number one guy. And he's certainly not the number 4 or 5 guy. I mean, I think he's right behind Merck, in my opinion. I mean, he could be ahead of Merck in terms of consistency. I think in terms of consistency, he's number one. I mean, I trust him to get 25 points, probably more than even Keaton, because he's been there and he's done that. So I love him where he's at. I don't see why he would need to be a starter right now. Then that begs the question, I'm seeing some talk online, oh, maybe Andre comes back because we're having such a good end of the season and this and that. It's like, well, he's definitely not going to want to come off the bench again. So he's going to need to be a starter. And at that point, do you just build around, like, not around Andre, but incorporate Andre with Merck and then just have Andre be your main guard? I like Andre. I don't know if he's that, good to be your number one guy, but it's like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm gonna give you a round of applause because that vinyl analogy you used was probably my favorite you've ever made on the Chillinois basketball podcast, and I think it's gonna resonate with a lot of the people that watch this podcast. I feel like Patty OD is a vinyl guy. I don't know him personally, but he just gives me vinyl listen,
There's
vinyl
definitely some old
aficionado.
heads in our comment section that know about vinyl. Let
Yeah, I
us
haven't
know.
figured out Fufu Flame yet. I'm not really sure what his age is. Carl, we miss you, Carl. I wish Carl would respond. He's definitely a vinyl user. Carl probably uses a Walkman, dude.
Carl listens to our podcast on vinyl, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So, not that we're aging him. I'm not saying he's old or anything. He's just cool like that. He's an old soul, I bet. Probably Carl is somebody that would wear that kind of a jacket as well. Uh, but yeah, Andrei Stojakovic, as long as he's happy, like He seems to be. They're winning, so I can't imagine he's not happy. But as long as he's happy, I do agree if they're going to bring him back next year, he would definitely need to be in a starting role. I don't think he's going to want to play a Ben Hummerkaus off the bench role for his senior season. But I mean, he's kind of proving to be the guy right now, especially in this March run. I do think there's going to be a game if the Illini make a deep run to the Final Four. I think there's going to be a Keaton Wagler game upcoming pretty soon. But then I'm gonna leave that point for our preview of Houston. Uh, did you see the Super Soakers in the locker room after the win?
I was so happy they brought that back. And did you see in the post-game interview, they all pushed their chairs in and they've been making an
Mm.
emphasis of it now. They're like
Yeah.
pushing the chair. And Andre is still trying to be too cool for it, act like he doesn't know what it is. Like, dude, you know what it is. It's they started it 2 years ago with the Elite Eight run. Just do it. You're not too cool for it. Okay, just play around, play along, go with the guys. But no, I'm super happy they brought all that stuff back. It's given, the good vibes, the throwback vibes, and Coleman, I mean, Coleman's loving all of it. He's reposting every Illini video. You can totally tell that bleeds orange. And I think I really do think he wishes that he would have stayed. Which, I mean, God, if you think about last year's team with Coleman on it, I mean, we were a decent Big Ten team, but I think with Coleman, we could have been a top two team in the league. I mean, that was really what we were missing was the four spot. But it's all very nostalgic. It's all the memories are flooding back, and you hope that this is like the Iowa State game where because you going into that game, I was trying to remember and think back. Were we? I don't think we were favorites. I want to say it was like a pick 'em or like Iowa State was like -1 or maybe -1.5. But I remember a lot of people were picking Iowa State going into that game. A lot of people were picking Iowa State, and
Um,
it was a close game, but obviously Illinois won it.
there is a bit of history that I want to get to, and I know I've texted you about it before, but if you look at the comparisons to the 2024 season, it's getting eerily similar between the pushing in the chairs and the Super Soakers, but even just the competition that the Illini have played. Going back to the Big Ten tournament, in 2024, the Illini faced Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament. Then they then get the 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. Just like this year, you face Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament, you get the 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. In the NCAA tournament in 2024, the Illini faced the 14 seed in the first round, beat them, Morehead State. They then face the 11 seed instead of the 6 seed, and it was out of the A10 tournament champions as well, Duquesne. In this season, the Illini face VCU, the A10 tournament champions, is the 11 seed. Kind of ironic, don't you think? It goes a step further as well because the Illini face Houston, the Big 12 tournament champions, as a 2 seed. Just like in 2024, they faced Iowa State, who are the Big 12 tournament champions and a 2 seed as well. So it's getting weirder and weirder. It almost went one step further had Iowa not beaten Florida last night because if Illinois were to beat Houston in Houston, they then have a chance. They would have had a chance to play the reigning national champions, just like they did in 2024 against UConn. So it is kind of eerily similar. I think there's a lot of connections to draw. The Super Soakers, the pushing in the chair. But I do agree with you. The vibes are really high, and it got me thinking. I feel like if the vibes are high, these guys probably have like some spirit animals as well. There's been sage in the past. There's been different like seances that we've called upon, like the Illini gods. We've had Babasic, Ivasic. But something that people who are really spiritual allude to all the time is a spirit animal. And it got me thinking, if the Illini team were to have spirit animals, who would have what spirit animal? And I think we can go a lot of different routes with this one. But I know when I texted you earlier thinking about who the Illini spirit animals were, off the bat, I said Kylan Boswell would probably be some elegant bird. Um, Either that or what did I say for Kylan as well?
I know that my spirit animal is Jelly Roll in this very cool black leather jacket that looks very similar to mine. We could be twinning. I mean, imagine me and Jelly Roll out on the town in our matching black leather jackets.
You have to bring up the jacket every 10 minutes. We're really milking for that Men's Warehouse sponsorship, huh?
Men's Warehouse, official sponsor of Chillinois basketball. And
Wasn't
it
it
cuts, it cuts to me, and I'm just like,
wasn't it Men's Warehouse with the commercial where it was like you're gonna like the way you look? I guarantee it. Wasn't that the commercial like 10 years ago?
I think that still rings a bell. I feel like that might still be their slogan.
I don't watch that much live TV, mostly just streaming and Amazon Prime stuff
Th
nowadays.
their new slogan is Men's Warehouse. The jacket. And then it's just me. But back to your question, I know that this has been a hot topic on Illinois forums. What is the spirit animal? We already, me and you had come to the conclusion, Brad Underwood, he's a goat, so his spirit animal
Mhm.
is the goat. You had an interesting one for the Ivisic brothers, which is pretty
Oh,
self-explanatory.
yeah, well, they're both tall. They're tallest guys on the team. So I said giraffes, twin giraffes. But I think it goes even deeper than that because giraffes are actually pretty aggressive sometimes. And I'm just telling everybody, if you want to entertain yourselves for like 3 minutes, just watch up giraffes fighting on YouTube. It's it's just so shocking that it's hysterical. I don't like wish injury upon any giraffe. I think they're very cool animals, but they swing their necks to hit each other, and it's the funniest thing you'll ever see. So I think Z is probably like a very aggressive giraffe, and Tomislav is very like
They could be, I
very
think
stoic.
emu, like, you know, like emus, like ostriches.
Yeah, actually, emus and ostriches scare the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. Big bird, I don't like big birds.
Because I think Merc, the way he runs, he's more like a giraffe.
Yeah, that could be like he definitely doesn't run like a gazelle. It's not smooth at all. Um,
It's like a wounded gazelle.
yeah, like a gazelle that's been shot, but he's gonna go at it with everything he's got.
He
Um,
looks like he has to pee really bad when he runs. Like he's holding it in. He's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, get out of the way.
I could see that. He runs like he's still figuring out his body. It looks like he grew like 9 inches about last year, and he still hasn't figured out that he's 6'9",
It
like
looks like he
5 feet.
runs with like he's got a rock in his shoe and he's like not trying to step on it.
Yeah, he's got Legos under his feet at all times. He's like
Yeah.
tiptoeing. And it's those guys. There was a guy in my high school that used to run like that, like on his tiptoes at all times. He kind of walked like that too. There's always somebody that does that, but they just have the most massive calves you've ever seen because of it. So I bet Merck's got some big calves. But back to the animal thing. I said Andre is probably a lion because he just sleeps all day and then looks really good. And then
I
once in
like
a
what you
while he's
said
like,
about Petrovich. Mention that one.
oh yeah, well well first it started with what would they be as zoo animals, and then so I said Petrovich would be like Punch the Monkey because he just gets shit from everybody all the time, and he's running around with a basketball just dribbling
And
those.
everybody feels bad. We all feel bad for him. Like,
Yeah,
man, I hope he's being included with everybody.
and he's really small, and you just want him to get his minutes. So Petrovich is definitely Punch the Monkey. What is he, a macaw monkey or a macaque monkey?
Yeah,
The Japanese movies that like
if
the
he's punched the monkey, then Merkovich is Big Chungus.
now it's just memes. Um,
What
and
animal
he,
is Jake Davis? A lion, you were saying, because of his hair?
no, I said Andre's the lion because once in a while he gets up to roar and everybody's really impressed. Jake Davis is like the red panda. You like kind of run into it at the zoo and you're like, oh shit, that's awesome. I didn't even know they had that here, but you got a Jake Davis. And it's
I
kind of
think
cool.
Andrei Stojakovic is kind of like a hammerhead shark. Like it sounds
That's the
cool, like
aquarium.
dude, like Andrei Stojakovic, dude, he's really cool. And then and then you kind of just forget about him, and you're like, whatever happened to him? But Jake Davis to me, he's kind of like a little honey badger. Like he just likes to start shit. You know, he's like on, you know, these interviews talking trash and, you know, all, you know, seven. What was the clip he was getting all this heat for? He was saying like 7 out of 10 times we beat Wisconsin, which is facts. I
Yeah,
mean, 9 times out of 10 we beat Wisconsin.
I
Well,
could see that. Jake
we
Davis
did
being a
lose
honey
to him
badger.
twice this year, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
8 out of 10 times we beat Wisconsin.
Um, Jake Davis could also be like a beta fish, though. Like you can't put two of them together, or they're gonna kill each other. One of them's gonna kill the other one.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah, I mean he's a real, you know, he's like a quiet, but he's really feisty, you know,
Hmm.
like a cat, like a
He's
little.
not feisty, or he's not quiet, according to Brad. Apparently,
Oh,
he's the
that's
biggest
true.
shit talker on the team.
He's a vocal leader.
Hmm.
What would Blake
Um,
Fagbemi be?
Blake Fagbemi would have to be like a Jaguar, something extraordinarily. No, no, he'd be like something
No,
extremely small, but something extremely. like powerful. So I'm
Like
thinking
an,
of peacock mantis shrimp because they're about this big. But have you ever heard of a peacock mantis shrimp before?
I mean, I know about mantis shrimp.
But like this one specifically, they have like a little hammer they use to like crack the skulls and like the exoskeletons of other like crustaceans to eat them. And their little hammer that they unleash creates a it's my favorite animal in the world. They
You
they
want me? Listen,
they create a
we're gonna.
sonic boom with their hammer, dude. Do you know how powerful that thing is? And it's about this big too. So I'm thinking Blake Fagbemi is a peacock mantis shrimp.
I'll unleash my hammer. Okay, I'll tell you that much, and I'll unleash my mantis shrimp. That was my nickname in college. Was the mantis shrimp. But no, I agree with that because he's very athletic. He's the most athletic player on the team, according to Brad Underwood.
Or
But
we
I
could
think
give
this
him
is
like
I think we've done everybody on the team. What about Keaton? Have we done Keaton?
no, I said Keaton in our text was a panda, like a baby
Okay,
panda, because everybody's like,
so Jake Davis is a panda and Keaton Wagler's a
no, Jake
panda.
Davis I said is the red panda because you just see it and you're like,
They're all
oh.
pandas.
No, but Keaton's like, because whenever there's a new panda cub at the zoo, everybody's like, oh, let's go see the panda. So Keaton's like, he's like the new guy
No,
on the block.
Keaton's like an alligator, man, like a little baby gator. Like he'll snap at you. He's cute still, but he'll snap at you.
Okay. I said Merc earlier is a hippo just because of his size. He's like, Merc is like, um, what was it a few months ago? Merc is like Moodang, dude.
I still keep up with that little guy.
Dude, I have a shirt with Jesus holding Moodang.
Wow.
Yeah, so we need to get a Merc Moodang shirt.
Yeah.
And then my last one was, well, I was gonna say I thought about it after we texted. Ty Rogers has got to be like a tortoise or something because he's just been on the team forever at this point. He's like the wise. He reminds me of Master Oogway from
I was about to say he reminds me of Master Splinter.
yeah, like some wise ninja guy.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't gotten your take on this, so I want to hear it live. But Tony Billich, what is Tony Billich?
Well, so Tony Billich and Ben Hummerkaus, we forgot him. I think Tony Billich, Velociraptor. He just is like badass, just really cool, kind of like weird looking, like you don't trust him necessarily.
Yeah,
Ben Hummerkaus, he would just be like a beaver. Just like a very basic, like, gets the job done because he's like a keystone species in college basketball. If he's on your team and he's doing good, it means you got a healthy program. So if he's out there chopping wood, building dams, I could see him very much being beaver-like.
I like that. My other Ben Hummerhouse comparison was gonna be like the family dog. Like he's just so loyal and
Yeah, like a
everybody
golden
loves him.
retriever,
Yeah, but like more American than that, like the Dalmatian or the German Shepherd or
like an
something.
American bulldog.
That too. I mean, I just feel like he's like got dog vibes about him. He's so loyal. Um, all right, well, that's our that's our which animal is the Illini players. If you have your own comparisons or takes, leave them in the comments because we'd love to hear some crazy ones. I think the craziest one so far is the peacock mantis shrimp. I needed to pull that out of my animal knowledge. I've been watching that dinosaur documentary on Netflix with Morgan Wallen, or excuse me, not Morgan Wallen.
Oh,
Imagine Morgan Wallen's narrating it. No,
I
Morgan
could. That's the
Freeman.
sad part is he would do some shit
Morgan
like that.
Freeman's narrating it, and it's actually extremely interesting. It's
Man, this
reminding
is
me,
a damn T-Rex.
it reminds me of when I was like 3 years old and loved dinosaurs. It's all coming back to me now. So if you have any takes on what dinosaur, or what sea animal, or what land animal an Illini player would be, throw it in the comments or throw it on our Instagram. We'll see if we agree with you. But the Illini will face Houston in Houston. Our old friend Kelvin Sampson, who used to be the head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. Are you aware of the were you an Illini fan when the whole Kelvin Sampson cheating scandal went down at Indiana? And are you aware of the Eric Gordon situation?
Vaguely, vaguely.
I'm sure a lot of the old heads on our pod or our podcast listeners who are old heads are definitely aware of that situation, but I'll remind everybody. So Kelvin Sampson at one point was the head coach of Indiana. I think it was like between 2008 and I think his last year was 2008. Whenever Tom Crean took over, it was like Kelvin Sampson was the coach before that. But anyways, Eric Gordon, who, if I remember correctly, is from the state of Illinois and a Chicago guy. No, I'm sorry, he is from Indiana. But during his recruitment, um, it came down to Indiana and Illinois. he had committed to verbally play at Illinois at one point, and then he rescinded that verbal commitment and signed a national letter of intent with Indiana. Um, there were some heated moments between him and like Dimitri McCamey in those games, and I think Chester Frazier as well. Just because it was like, how did they get Eric Gordon? Did Kelvin Sampson cheat? I don't want to summarize the entire situation just without looking at it, but all I know is Kelvin Sampson was found to be a cheater and he was suspended from being a coach for quite some time. Now he's done really well with this Houston program and kind of, I would say, like restored his good name. Um, but there is some history between Kelvin Sampson and the Illini program dating back to like the 2000s when he was at Indiana. So if you're an older Illini fan, my dad especially, he doesn't like Kelvin Sampson at all. So this one's going to have some um, I don't think any heated moments between the players or between the coaches or anything. I don't think Brad Underwood has any bad blood with Kelvin Sampson. But the fans especially might let Kelvin Sampson hear it if there are any in Houston favoring the Illini for that game, because it probably will be a pretty pro Houston crowd. Um, that being said, we'll have a recap for that one. We're recording that, or a preview for that one. We're recording that tomorrow. So there will be more content, another preview coming out for you guys. I haven't checked the bracket challenge in a day or so. Let me see who's leading that at the moment. Give me just a second here. Bracket challenge.
Shout out Iowa too. We got to give a shout out to Iowa
Yo,
because I mean, they busted my bracket, but shout out Big Ten. I mean, what Big Ten was able to do, 6 teams in the Sweet 16, very wild. First time in a while, and I seriously think we can get one of the teams in the Final Four. I mean, maybe it's Michigan, maybe it's Illinois. I don't know. I think, man, Michigan State, that's a tough region they're in right there. But nonetheless, I mean, seriously, shout out to Iowa and that Iowa Nebraska. I mean, wow.
that's gonna
Talk about
feed.
talk about a dream matchup for Illinois if we're able to get past Houston. I mean,
I don't want to overlook anything, but yeah, absolutely. If you get past Houston, you're looking at the winner of Nebraska versus Iowa, both teams that Illinois have beat this season to get to the Final Four. That would be awesome. I think it's pretty funny that they're having a battle of the corn in Houston. Um, and then Illinois in there too. Like somebody tweeted I saw earlier, they're like, I don't think Houston's prepared for the amount of corn this is going to bring. Um, Anyways, Chillinois basketball podcast bracket challenge. At the moment, Jeff Moore, our guy, is still leading. He has like a historically good bracket at the moment. He's in the 99.9 percentile of all of ESPN. Um, I think through the first two rounds, there's what? There'd be 32 games in the first round and then 16. So there'd be 48 total. I don't know exactly. The math on ESPN is different because he has 560 points. He's leading the group by 50 points. Alex Iniguez is currently in second. And then I don't know who Circle Storm 98 is, but they are in third at the moment. I think nobody really picked the Illini in this group, surprisingly. There's only three brackets with the Illini, and we're one of them, Noah. We're currently sitting in 11th place, so we've made up some points, but we didn't do so hot in this one. But at the moment, Jeff Moore, you're currently getting some Chillinois basketball merch, whatever you'd like from the website. But there is still time to make up. I guess he has Arizona as his Final Four winner, and then second at the moment has Duke, and then third has UConn. So it could go a number of different ways. Um, Nobody picked Florida to win, so everybody's still in it from a. Actually, nobody. Wow, we have some smart people in our bracket challenge. Nobody has lost a national champion yet. I know Florida knocked a lot of people out and some other groups I'm in, but um, everybody has Duke, Arizona, Michigan, Houston. Wow, Iowa State, I see here. I'm impressed. Nobody's lost a national championship so far. So that's pretty good. But Jeff Moore, congrats so far for the first two rounds. You are our leader. We will have a Houston preview, like I said, that's going to not come out tomorrow night, but we'll record it tomorrow night, so it'll be out on Wednesday morning. Any final thoughts for the VCU game, Noah?
no, good game. Looking forward to Houston.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. We can avenge the RJ Melendez technical foul dunk. That's what everybody's talking about. But we will find out Thursday. That game's late Thursday, so make sure to set your alarms if you're working the next day because you better be up for that one. And I honestly hope there's a lot of Illinois fans in Houston. That would be really cool to see the Illini Nation kind of pull up. And I know it's going to be pro Houston, but at the end, if we're pulling away with it, if there was an ILL chant in the crowd somehow, that would just be so cool. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I don't want to jinx anything either. But The Illini knock off VCU by a final score. Gosh, I lost the page. By a final score here of 76 to 55, a 21-point margin of victory in the second round game. We'll have a Houston recap or preview, excuse me, for you tomorrow, guys. So keep following along. And then we'll have some pretty interesting guests, I think, coming up, Noah, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Got some
State.
guests on the horizon.
We have many guests coming up.
Yeah, that's gonna be how we'll have to fill most of our off season. So if you guys like people from other podcasts talking on our podcast, we'll definitely have a lot of that going on once the Illini's season wrapped up. But we hope it's in four more games and not the next one. Anyways, Noah, ILL.
I and I.